If I tell you what you promised not to tell, I got a secret and I kept it well. You wouldn't believe it, but I swear it's not a lie. I close my eyes and then I start to fly. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I just fly away. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I just fly away. There's a magic that I fly to when I'm down. Thoughts of pure love are all around. I'll take you with me if you really want to try. Just close your eyes and then you can fly. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I just fly away. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I just fly away.
Thank you, Norman Taylor.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. The Center for Conscious Living. I'm so happy that you're all here. We're going to start. If you will repeat after me, I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
My heart to the universe.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health. And so it is. So we've got a wonderful service here for you today. We've got the amazing, wonderful Rick Moss doing our talk today. Thanks, Rick. We have practitioners around the Zoom holding the high watch, knowing the truth for the service, for everyone here, and for the world. So if you have anything that you are worried about, concerned about, fears, doubts, limitations, any of that, hand it over to the practitioners and they will take it and release it. And you can take it back if you want to at the end of the service, but I recommend that you allow them to release it because they can know the truth for us. So the practitioners are Reverend Michael Rogers is our second practitioner. He's holding consciousness for today, and then he'll do the prayers. He'll send out the prayers to all the practitioners that you all send in to us, because the practitioners are the healing arm of the service of CCL, and we do the prayers for all of the congregation and anybody who sends in prayers. Our third practitioner holding consciousness for the day is Lynn Scheider. Our pastoral support, who does all of the logistical stuff for the service, does the chat room and all of that, is Marlene Volper. And our first practitioner, who is going to do our invocation, is Kathy Miller. Thank you, Kathy.
Hey, thank you, Reverend Paul. Good morning, everybody. What a glorious day that we're all together. So if you would just join me in taking a deep breath, dive deep into this field of love, this field of resonant love. This is the universal presence of the divine. This flow of all good, all love that breathes us, that ignites us, the billions of cells down to the mitochondria in this physical body that we have, linking us together in this field for they're into the oneness that is this amazing field of unity, this universal force that guides us, that directs us, that is us, that lives within us, that is good, that is love, that always is. Lord, I am amazed. I am in awe of the presence that is always us, that is always within us, that we get to express as individuals and come together in this beautiful spiritual community that is the Center for Conscious Living. I am so pleased and thankful and grateful today for our founding minister, our minister emeritus, Reverend Carol Lawson, who is joining us today and is always with us. For Reverend Paul, knowing that the presence of the universal force will flow through him, and all the practitioners, all the community who is here to make up this one spiritual community. For Norman, who is just bringing us beautiful music, singing the songs of the divine. And we are so blessed today to have Reverend Dr. Rick Moss, who is just, his work is sublime. It is the word of God that flows through him, that has helped so many people heal and is bringing to us today the exact message, releasing that each and every one of this congregation it needs today. So in giving thanks and praise to everyone here, to the one, please repeat after me. And so it is.
And so it is. Beautiful, Kathy. Thank you. So Norman, reintroduce Norman Taylor.
All right. Technical difficulty solved. Speech difficulties are a problem. Every day of sunshine comes peeking through the blinds. Every day of sunshine comes peeking through the blinds. Brighten up my morning, give me joy and peace of mind. I get up and head out, taking in a brand new day. I get up and head out, taking in a brand new day. Feel you right beside me, every breath I take. Feel you in the warm breeze, blowing through the tall trees. Signs are all around me, sky is full of stars. I just wanna stop and stare. So much tender love and care. Fingerprints are everywhere. Just listen to your heart. Every day of sunshine comes peeking through the blinds. Every day of sunshine comes peeking through the blinds. Right now my morning, give me joy and peace of mind. I get up, head out, taking in a brand new day. I get up and head out. Take him in a brand new day. Brighten up my morning in every way. Feel you in the warm breeze blowing through the tall trees. Signs are all around me. The sky's full of stars. I just want to stop and stare. So much tender love and care. Fingerprints are everywhere. Just listen to your heart.
Beautiful, Norman. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me reintroduce our first practitioner, Kathy Miller, to do our inspirational reading.
Beautiful, Norman. You sound great on the phone. Thank you, Reverend Paul. Today's reading is from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And it is a passage from February 24th that can be found on page 61. I open myself to greater love. Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Corinthians 13:1. Love is more than a sentiment. It is a need, a hunger, a thirst that is perfectly natural. Anyone who thinks he can live and be happy without it does not know what she's talking about, psychologically, emotionally, or spiritually. Love is the beginning and end, the impulse in nature that will not be denied. Let us think back beyond the individual to the source of all life. I believe that the whole universe is the givingness of the creative spirit to the delight of its own being, into the creation that is itself in that creation. Love is the principle of life, for it is in the nature of everything to give. Only the one who loves so much that there is no longer any room for hate will ever arrive at the place where, if there may be hate, she will never know it. We are afraid of greatness because we are so tied down to littleness. We clutch the littleness anxiously and jealously, but so precariously to our hearts. It is essential to see beyond the littleness to something bigger. None of us is as perfect in expression as we ought to be. So the challenge to each of us is to be great enough to rise in love, in charity, through understanding and compassion. Love is the lodestone of life. I respond lovingly to all persons, recognizing that the spiritual life is the real life. I surround myself with love, the key to joyous living. So if you would please repeat after me the affirmation that you can find in the chat room. Today, I open myself to love, knowing that love is the truth of my being. I allow love to radiate through me out into the world, affirming that love is my guide. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Kathy. That's beautiful. So speaking of love, our speaker today truly embodies love. He's an amazing man, an amazing intuitive force. I've had the pleasure of knowing Rick for, I guess, about 10 years now. Got the joy and the pleasure of having in my home when he was here at CCL. He's always been a friend. His counseling sessions are off the chart. I had one last week, and a huge weight was lifted off of my shoulders. It was just, I was floating afterwards. He's got his own website, Essential Pathways. Go look at it. He's got many, many opportunities for profound expansion and growth. If you have I recommend the one thing you do is have a session with Rick. It's profound. He is so intuitive, so gentle, so loving, and so authentic. And I'm thrilled that Rick is here. So let me introduce the wonderful, amazing Rick Moss. Rick, you're on mute. Rick, you're on mute. Rick?
Give him a minute.
Oh, Rick, you're on mute. There you go. Sorry.
Reverend Paul, that was so fantastic. Would you mind going with me everywhere I go? That would be great. It's just so wonderful to be back with you all, with Reverend Carol, Reverend Michael, Kathy, and so many dear and beautiful friends. It just fills my heart with so much love, which is very convenient and wonderful, because I'm here today to talk about deepening our experience of love. We heard from Ernest Holmes, Kathy, the Bible, some of the reasons why love is important. Very simply, the deeper our love, the deeper our joy. The deeper our love, the deeper our joy. And if God is love, then to know God is to know love. To know God is to know ourselves. And this was the beautiful teaching and message of Jesus, the importance, the central importance of love in our lives. Now, we're not talking about everyday chocolate ice cream love. It's important to make a distinction between the ego's version of love, which is really about like, and in the case of chocolate ice cream, extreme like. But that's different from unconditional, non-judgmental love. This love is what we're here today to deepen, to explore, to realize. Now, love does have a natural enemy, and that is when we're in the egoic part of our mind. We are acting out of the past, out of wounds, out of limitation. And from those wounds and limitation, we don't find love. What we find, and the natural enemy of love, we could say, is repetitive behavior patterns. Things that we do to avoid the pain from the past, the trauma, the wounds, the fears, the limiting beliefs that we have been carrying basically since childhood. Why childhood? What does 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago have to do with now? That's the key question. And the answer is found in the nature of the unconscious. The unconscious, which is about 95% of our equipment, the unconscious is so malleable, so open, so vulnerable in the early years of life, both in the womb and usually up to the age of around 7. The child mind is narcissistic. That means that whatever happens to us, we think is about us. It's also called magical thinking. It's all about me, says magical thinking. Well, there is no time in the unconscious. Everything is now. So whatever we learned in childhood, if we haven't healed it, if we haven't brought love and truth and light to it, that's our now. That is our bedrock illusion, which we're calling truth. So if mother and father weren't available, it wasn't that they were busy. It was, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. Whatever that wound that lies in the unconscious, it leads later in life, if it has not been healed, to behaviors, avoidant behaviors, behaviors that allow us not to feel that pain by doing something else. But whatever we're doing, it is that degree inauthentic. It is that degree not our true self. It is an adaptive behavior patterns. So what's an example? So a woman has an abusive and angry father who terrorized her in her childhood. 30, 40 years later, she is choosing men that are much younger than she is, choosing men that don't earn much money, because it allows her to feel safer in the relationship. But you can see that that feeling of safety is a big trade-off the ego is willing to make. But it doesn't make her happy. The adapted behavior pattern will never make us happy. Because happiness is connecting to the authentic nature of ourselves. What's another? A guy. His father was not present. His mom was depressed and withdrawn. He grows up like this, with this sense of being unworthy and unimportant. Can you imagine the adapted behavioral pattern? Either he tries to hide in a way that people don't confirm to him how unimportant and how unlovable he is, or he tries to overcompensate and prove to the world how lovable and how important he is. Neither will work, because it's not authentic behavior. It's an adaptation at the level of ego, and it avoids the underlying wound, the underlying hurt. So maybe we turn to addiction. Tolle says that all addiction is an avoidance of pain, something we choose not to feel that. Maybe we try and perform, maybe we hide from relationships. Whatever we're doing, it's not coming out of our authentic self. It's something learned, something put on by the ego, and it doesn't make us happy. So what we're going to do is the work of starting to find out, what is that pain from the past? What is the emotion? Because the emotion stored in the subconscious and the unconscious, the emotion makes the belief, the limiting belief, I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I have to hide. The emotion stored makes the limiting belief feel true. So if we can clean out, drain away, shine light on, love away that emotion, the limiting belief starts to wither and fall away, and the behavior that sprung up from an illusion or a wound can be healed. And life changes and relationships change. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the work of finding where that emotion is stuck that leads us to behaviors that are unrewarding, unfulfilling. So I'm going to ask you if you would like to join in and enter into this love-based healing process. It is love-based. It is love-directed. And in this sense, all healing comes from God, because healing comes through love. It comes through attention or consciousness, an aspect of divine presence. And it comes through truth. We're going to turn to these three aspects of the divine to do the work of letting the past go, entering the present, entering love's presence. So please, close your eyes for a minute. Tune in to your past and see if you can find a hurt, an event, a shame, a limiting belief. Maybe it leads to some addiction in your life. Maybe it leads to the avoidance of relationships. Maybe it leads to trying in everything rather than doing. Finding that emotion. And you really can't be wrong, because we all carry so much that we have no awareness of, because the unconscious is maybe 95% unaware. But the top of the unconscious, the subconscious, we can get to more easily. We get to it in dreams. We get to it maybe right now by just diving into the past and seeing what comes up. So we're going to use this following process to start to bring attention and love to what has been stored in the unconscious, and the body is the functional unconscious. So, just tuning in, find an emotion. And if you are having trouble finding one, work with fear. And imagine, please, that you're standing in a big tub like a vat, and it's filled with this liquid form of the emotion that you're working with. Maybe it's fear, maybe shame, maybe rage, maybe hate. It's on its way out. So don't be afraid of it. But I'm going to ask you to spend maybe 30, 45 seconds feeling into it, because you can't heal what you won't feel. So just feel into it. Oh, yes, there's that fear. There's that trauma. There's that sadness. There's that depression that I have done so much to avoid. But now, and we call on the angels and guides to help us. Now I'm choosing to become conscious of it, because consciousness heals. Love heals. Presence heals. Truth heals. So just feel into it. Don't be afraid of it. Imagine that it's a liquid that you're standing in, and give it a color to make it even more real. So maybe it's red, maybe it's black. Doesn't really matter. Close to the next step here, I can feel it. Okay. There's a button on the inside of the vat. And if you choose to push it, that liquid, that emotion, that feeling that is the basis of an avoidant behavioral pattern that is not making you happy, will start to go, because it isn't inherent in you. It's learned. If you learned it, you can unlearn it. It's not really you. All right, it's draining. And it drains into the earth, which drinks it in and transmutes it to life force. Because the earth has that ability. Poop into flowers, if you will. Feel it go. Maybe it's pulling from gravity against your body as it's draining out. Feel it go. Nice. Maybe it's down to your waist. It is not you. This is the truth. This is something you learned, and it is something you can unlearn. Just let it go. That's it. That's it. Maybe down to your knees, keep letting it go. Maybe you'll notice the light that's coming in now. I can feel the vat starting to fill with presence, with light, with goodness. Maybe those are the angels. You may feel your stomach relax. You may feel more breath. Take a breath and let the tension go as it goes down to your ankles. You're doing great. And then it washes out. And when it's out, this old emotion, which has nothing to do with the real you, the sides of the vat retract, and you find yourself in the most beautiful place in nature you can imagine. Give it as much reality as you can for yourself. Feel the sun shine on you. See the exquisite beauty. Find your gratitude. Find your awe for such incredible beauty that God creates. The more you appreciate this, the more you realize and feel your place right in the midst of it and equal to it. All beautiful creations of the one. Oh, that's it. That's it. Just drink in that light. It may even make you want to giggle, because it really is more than the metaphor for unconditional love. It gives you everything. It asks for nothing. It doesn't care what you look like, what you do. It just shines on you and gives you everything. Just like unconditional love, just like the divine. Drink it in. It is the antidote to the misperception that you are not lovable. The people who played the role of your parents were chosen, I believe, before you came to the planet to play the role they did. So you could overcome whatever illusions you came in with and come into the truth. You can come into that truth right now as you stand in the light of God's love, like the sun that loves you exactly as you are. You don't have to perform. You don't have to do anything. And when you don't have to do anything for love, then your soul guides your steps. Your heart guides your actions. And there is no avoidant behavioral pattern. There is just what you do. And what you do is beautifully, brilliantly, lovingly guided by grace, by the divine, by the oneness that we partake in. Let that feeling of being loved fill you, especially your gut. So many of the hurts from childhood lie in the gut. So imagine, dear friends, you could open the door of your gut and let those hurts just pour out. We ask the angels and guides to collect whatever is pouring out from the past, those hurts, those limiting beliefs, all that junk, and take it to light and transmute it so you can be yourself. You can be your divine self, free, motivated by guidance at every moment. Awake, enlightened, loving. That is us without our stuff. So take a breath. Breathe that in throughout your body. And just imagine for a minute how you would live your life if this sense of being totally loved exactly as you are, no matter what you do, if this were your every moment thought. How would your life be different? How would your relationships be different? How would your consumption be different? What you eat, what you drink. Lovely. So what we've started to do with this first process is to find the hurt that has led to an adaptation of our behavior that doesn't serve us to be who we really are and to live a full and happy life. This process can be repeated many times because these patterns are made up of memory bubbles that are sort of like jigsaw pieces. We've just taken out a number of them and they're gone. But that pattern still exists in the rest of the pieces and needs more attention to break out those pieces and replace it with truth and light and love. And so we ask that this first process be integrated through all time, space, dimensions, and interdimensions throughout the hologram of life and existence. And so it is. Now, I'd like to try a different process with us. This one just got given to me. It showed up in my head about 2 or 3 days ago, so it's hot off the presses. Let's see if it works for you. I'd like you to imagine a brownstone, which is like a 2 or 3 story house in a city. And I'd like you to imagine that you're standing in the front of the house. And there's a big double window that looks down on the street. And there you stand looking down on the street. Everything you see, you have an opinion about. Everyone who looks up at you, you have an opinion. You project onto them what you think they may be thinking and feeling. This is you and your ego. It's not the real you, but it's the you you've come to know. So your interaction with everything, what you like, what you don't like, the colors you like, the people you like, all of that, that's your ego. Now, walk with me to the back of your house. There is also this beautiful double window. This one looks out on an exquisite garden surrounded by trees. There's a chair. Sit in the chair. Look out on this exquisite garden. Just as beautiful as you could imagine. Maybe there's a fountain. Maybe there's grass. Maybe there are flowers. Maybe there are vegetables. Sit in the chair and just let yourself take in the beauty, the awe, the majesty, and above all, the stillness that you feel in the back of your house, in the back of your mind, at the soul level. As I feel it now, it's just heaven. It's so peaceful and beautiful and still and grace-filled. To whatever extent it is for you, drink it in. Let it fill your body and fill your awareness. This is our natural state. This quiet, this peace, this transcendence into the one. Now you stand up and you walk back to the front of your house, to the ego, and you look out on the street. But you're bringing with you the enlivenment of your being, of your soul, of stillness. My question to you is, as you look through the ego at the world below you, do you notice a detachment, a witnessing, wherein you observe all that's going on, but it doesn't touch the inner you? The inner you stays God-connected, soul-connected, peaceful, in this state of compassion, rather than falling into the patterns of the past. As we strengthen this beautiful and deep sense of ourselves, we grow in that. And what is the outcome is this compassionate love, this peace, this bliss. And that's what we bring into relationship rather than our childhood wounds. We bring the divine because we are acting from the divine. And in that, life itself becomes a divine expression of our true and godlike nature. And so we ask that all this healing be integrated through all time, space, dimensions, and interdimensions throughout the hologram of life and existence, which is to say through every part and particle of our being. And through us, may we offer this healing to the universe so that it could benefit anyone that could benefit from what we've just experienced. And so it is. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Come on back to a new world. I am so grateful that you have invited me to be with you. I love being with you. Love being here. Love being able to share. Love being a mouthpiece for love itself. I salute you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. That was profound. I could feel, as the vat was emptying, I could feel myself relaxing. It was just, my body was just going, oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is the profundity of Rick Moss. Thank you. So next we have Marlene Volper reading our offertory blessing.
Okay,
I think.
just gonna bring my face back so y'all can see me.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so if you would all just listen as I read the blessing of our offering. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
And so it is.
And so it is.
We'd like to thank you all for your tithes to CCL. It's important to this community. It keeps us afloat, keeps us going. So I want to thank you all for the wonderful abundance of tithes that you give every week. So thank you. And now, reintroducing the amazing Norman Taylor.
You say you want to get over, what you gonna do? Watch the world go by in a corner all alone. I know it's none of my business. There's something I need to say. If you could see you the way I see you, you'll start shining on your own. Step out the way and let your light shine. Let your love grow. It's a short ride down a long road. When the wind comes and the rain goes, let your light shine wherever you go. This world is ready and waiting for you to step on through. It's time to recognize and realize you're the only one like you. So step on up into your greatness. Don't be afraid. There's a place that you will rise up to. No one else can do what you do. Step aside and let your light shine. Let your love show. It's a short ride down a long road. When the rain comes and the wind blows, let your light shine wherever you go. Let your light shine, let your love glow. It's a short ride down that long road. When the rain comes and the wind blows, let your light shine wherever you go.
Beautiful, Norman. Beautiful. Thank you. It's one of my favorites of Keb Mo.
Mine too.
Yeah. He reminds me of you.
Ah, thanks. I'll tell him that when I see him again.
Please. So now we have a blessing that we do for anybody who's here for the first time, but it's truly for all of us. It's a wonderful blessing. If you'll raise your hands and repeat after me. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. For you are a radiant point of light. And we are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. That was the prayer that got me the first time I came to CCL. I went, yeah, I'm home. I'm home. So we have a mastermind covenant, but I'm gonna do the short version. The love of God unfolds me. The mind of God inspires me. The Spirit of God enlightens me. The power of God encircles me. I am in God and all is well. For I am enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. So you can turn to your Zoom neighbor and say, I'm grateful God has heard you. I love Michael's heart. It reminds me. So we have a number of announcements. I can find them. First and foremost, I want to announce it's coming up within the next week or so. I can't remember the exact date, but our new website. And I want to thank Marlene Volper for busting her tail on this wonderful website. It's been a collaborative effort because she's been putting it together and coming to the Stewardship Council and saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But Marlene has been doing all the work and it's wonderful. I think you're going to love it.
It should be the end of the month, Paul.
Okay, should be the end of the month. So it's coming up soon. So check it out. Tell your friends about it. It's a wonderful form of advertisement. It really shows who we are and what we do. There's services on there. So check it out. And spread the word. We've got the men's group coming up next Monday, the third Monday of the month. We have the women's group, the Red Tent, coming up June 26th, 7 p.m. All of this is on Zoom. Kathy, she's raising her hand. Go, please.
Thank you, Paul. We're just very excited about this month's Red Tent. As you said, on June 26th, it's actually going to be in our gracious hostess, Cheryl Cassiano's backyard. So we're very excited about that. We'll be social distancing, of course, and we'll be outside. And Cheryl does ask anyone who has not been vaccinated to wear a mask if you want to use her restroom. But we're going to be discussing Glennon Doyle's book, The Untamed, just Untamed. So we're really excited about gathering together. So it's for women only. So any women who are available, please, and are free that night, June 26th at 7 p.m., please join us. You can contact myself or Renee Trellis, and we'll give you the address of Cheryl. But please join us if you can. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. I've heard, obviously I can't go, but I've heard nothing but wonderful things. People walk away from it just talking about it, saying, "Oh, it was a great Red Tent." It's a lot of love, a lot of communication, a lot of understanding. So please, if you're a woman, go, because I can't go. We've got the BIPOC led by Haji Scheffler coming up. Actually, no.
It'll be in
Sorry, that was
July.
June 6th.
Their next meeting's in July, Paul.
Thank you. It's the next meeting is in July. So look for it. We have, is Mary Law here? Mary? Michael, can you speak to it if Mary's not here? We have a class. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I'm assisting in class with Mary Law. If you've been in a class with Mary Law, you've been in a class that's full of love and grace. She is so fantastic. And this is about the Kundalini energy and the chakras. And it's just such beautiful guided meditation. A wonderful thing about Mary's classes is she tapes the class and that she sends you the tapes and you're able to work with them in between. It's 5 classes. We already had one, which is okay because she can send you the tape. If you want to join the class, the information is contact the office and they'll certainly give you all the information and set you up. So it is on Thursdays. So it'll be this Thursday coming up.
Thank you, Michael. And Michael's another reason to be in the class. His consciousness is brilliant. We have Enchanted Summer with Julie Fisher, Monday, June 21st, 7 to 8. 21st, 7 to 8. Let's join together to celebrate the summer solstice with prayerful and playful sounds and mantras. So if you're available that night, go be around, be in the presence, be in the energy of Julie Fisher. She's amazing. I think there's chanting. Yeah, there's chanting. She's just such a beautiful soul. She also does the chanting for peace. I think it's every day, 8 a.m. to 8:20. The Zoom link is in the newsletter. So if you want to do that, please do that. It's what a wonderful way to start the day. I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think that's everything. So I just want to thank, again, Rick Moss. It's just an honor and a pleasure. Please, 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 everybody, all of you, if you want a profound session, please get a session with Rick Moss. It is amazing. I can't say enough. Today was amazing. Today was amazing. This is a portion of what you're getting from Rick Moss. So now we have our concluding song with Norman Taylor.
This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you, Norman. And now, Kathy Miller has our concluding affirmation. Kathy, you're muted. Kathy, you're muted. Kathy, you're muted.
I heard you the first. Thank you.
Sorry.
In fact, why doesn't everyone unmute? Let's do this. Let's all join in. Sounds
All
crazy,
have
but
it.
let's be crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is
Something
happening
wonderful
to
is
you.
happening to
Right
you
now.
right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this
It
thing
is
called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my feelings.
Life is in my feelings.
Let's see.
Life is in all my activities.
Life is in all my
activities.
I receive it.
I receive it.
Receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I accept it
And I accept it
just the way that it is.
just the way that it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you,
life.
life.
And accepting all of these gifts, we say,
Yes.
Yes.
Bravo.
Love you all. Great day. Thank
great
you, Rick.
service. Thank you so much, Rick. Beautiful as
Thank
always.
you, Rick.
Love you, Rick. Boss. Thank you.
I
Really
wanna
great.
thank you.
Great music, Norman.
Thank
Glad
you.
to see your full face there.
Yeah. We
you,
fixed
Reverend
that
Carol.
computer.
You fixed it, I see. Yeah. Hey, Lisa, how
Hi,
are you?
Jody.
Hey, Jody, good to see
Hey,
you.
Lisa.
Hey, Jody.
Hey,
Hi,
Joanne.
Selena.
Right.
Bert.
Hello, hello.
Jody.
Hello,
Hi,
Debbie
Jim.
Kelly.
Hey, Nancy.
Hey,
Debbie.
what's up?
Hey, Joanne.
Hi,
I saw
Felicia.
Joanne.
Hi,
Hey.
June.
Yes.
Hi, Morty.
Hey,
Hey, Bonnie.
Joanne. Hi, Peggy. Virgie.
Hey, Katora.
Katura.
Felicia.
All right.
Hey, Steven, good to see you. Hey,
Marty.
Felicia.
Darren, Tim.
Hello, Virgie.
Hi,
Kathy,
Joanne.
great job
Hey,
today.
Sarah and Tim.
Hi,
Thank you.
Lynn.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop,
Bye, guys.
whoop.
Bye.
Hey,
You are.
Hi,
Everybody.
Bonnie.
Hey, Virgie.
Hey, Marty.
Hi, Sarah, Tim.
Bye bye,
Hey,
Hey, Marty.
everyone. Have a good
Hey,
week.
Hey,
Ellen.
everybody.
Hi,
Hey, Marty.
Elaine.
Peggy. Carol.
Great
Take
week.
care, everybody.
Peggy.
Hey,
Virgie.
everybody.
Hi,
Center for
Bonnie.
Conscious Living.
Sarah.
everyone.
Hi. Oh.
Blessings.
Hi,
You're looking
Katura.
good, Steven. You look
Hi,
really
hi.
good.
Lynn.
Doesn't he?
Oh.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Hi, Katura.
Hi, Selena.
Good.
Virgie.
You feeling good, Stephen?
Stephen,
Good.
how are you?
Okay.
Stephen, are you feeling
Victor,
better?
we miss you. Hi, Peg.
You're looking
Stephen,
good,
you feeling
Steve.
better?
Well, yeah.
Feeling good?
Good.
A rough couple
Excellent.
months. That's all I can
All
tell
right.
you.
Love you all. Bye. See you
Hey, but you
soon.
got through it.
Thank
Got through
you.
it.
Thank you.
Come here on
Thank
Sunday.
you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you,
Oh,
everybody,
yeah.
but
Isn't he
thank you,
wonderful?
Rick.
Have
That
a great
was
day,
the most-
everyone.
And remember, you can go on Facebook and hear this again, and then after
Yes.
like a while, then it'll go onto YouTube. So you can always
YouTube.
call it up if you want to do the process over and over again.
Oh,
Do a session
thank
with
you.
Rick. They
Yes.
are
So from
amazing.
Facebook, you,
know-
can go on and look for the CCL, and that's with all our weekly talks. And then you can then it'll eventually go onto YouTube, so it'll always be available. But this is great. You can go on and do the process over and pick something else to heal.
Yes.
Another thing to heal. But
Another thing.
But
Just heal
Selena,
those things. We want those things
nice-
healed.
Another bubble in the bubble wrap, right?
but the nice thing of
bubble
it
in
is,
the bubble wrap.
with Rick's sessions,
Bring
you
a
can be
conditioner for all the
healing.
time